Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Box Office Breakdown. Information and commentary on weekly movie box office.
We have to actually talk about the show now, or eventually, after this song leads the way.
So inspirational.
I feel like I need to give you a moment before we start. So, for those of you who are joining us, we are kind of changing this week. Yes, we are here for Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown. We're going to talk about the box office. We're going to talk about the international numbers, but mostly we're going to talk about the inspiration of this music. Do you want to introduce what the week's focus is, boys?
Man, this song gets me pumped up.
How can you not get pumped up?
It's just unbelievable. Conti smacked this out of the park. I think it's the best score of all time.
I'm with you. I think it's the best of all time. It beats Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Just smokes everything.
It's
the best movie of all
I'm
time.
not going to agree with that.
Best
I'm not going to agree with that. I'm not going to agree with that. Not going to agree with most of that. But you know what? I'm glad you're happy. And then
yes, we're very happy.
You look very Adrian. That's beautiful.
So good.
This is called I'm a Team Player, and you both fail. This is how this show started.
Yeah.
We have been talking about how we were going to talk about Mr. Sylvester Stallone, how we're going to be talking about Creed, how most likely that's going to lead into a bunch of just Rocky and such discussion. And so I was being a team player and was told to wear a certain outfit that was in the resemblance of Adrian. And I was told that everyone else would also be playing along with me.
JT's a little
Look
sick.
who dressed up.
I was sick the last few days, so I didn't get a chance to go out and buy. I did go on eBay and look for...
You aren't true fans and you don't already own them?
I went on eBay and looked for a straight-up Tommy Gunn blue jacket, blazer.
Ooh, that would have been amazing.
Adidas. Like, I would have bought the whole uniform. I couldn't find anything.
Like a mullet wig?
Yes, I was going to wear the mullet wig and everything. And but I did wear the Rocky shirt that I wore to the Creed premiere.
Hey, if you guys want me to take my shirt off, I'll do it.
No, it's okay.
No, sound like
But
yeah. I even had a gray tracksuit. I should just.
You should have gave me the great tracksuit. I was at a wedding yesterday.
I was in Vegas.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I drove to and from Vegas in a 30-hour period by myself.
You went to the actual fight?
No, I didn't go to the actual
I was
fight.
going to say, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I did watch the fight.
Nice. Well, I like that. Yeah, it was a rough weekend.
Anyone that follows you and me on Twitter would have, or Facebook, or has a any sort of
format
that we of social media will know that me and Finstock went to the Creed premiere last Thursday.
Like
Finstock and I went to the Creed premiere.
Yes, that's
Just
why. Yes.
Sorry, proper English. So yes, we went to the actual premiere at the Westwood Village near the USC, and luckily, thanks to this man, I was able to kind of sneak my way into the after party.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna be bitter today because once again I wasn't invited.
Well, it was really fun.
I barely made it. By the way,
so I'm sitting there. And it was star-studded. So I'm sitting there with a couple of bosses and things like that. Not Boss Turner, but a couple of other bosses.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boss Turner for once again getting 5 for 5. Same with Kristen. Same with JTE.
These guys dialed in. Turner. But so anyway, Arnold walks in and sits right in front of me. Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
He was like clapping. Stallone came up to him and said something. I couldn't hear what it was. So I'm sitting there and I hear some English guy talking to one of my bosses. And he's kneeling down and I'm like, let me look over here and see who this is. And it was Christopher Nolan there. So he's like, my boss is like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm a big Rocky fan. He goes, I'm here to watch the movie.
He is the best.
And he's like, hey, Tom, this is my buddy Chris. I'm like, hey, Chris, how's it going? He's like, hey, Tom, how you doing? I'm like, wow. I think that was Christopher Nolan. It was pretty wild.
Boom.
So who's the bigger Rocky fan?
It's tough. I mean, I won the trivia battle, so I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
you want to base it on that. You can base it on that.
This is what I say. I think I know Stallone's complete filmography more than you, but
you
you know some Rocky probably more than me.
Yeah, because I lived
See
it.
what I'm saying?
I mean, I
Like,
lived Rocky.
Because
but it's close.
Tom over there puts Rocky above all else.
Yeah,
It is
it's
like
number one of all time.
And you put it where?
It's usually my number one.
It's the best movie of all time.
When I always say,
Do you ever change your mind? Did anything ever overcome it?
What I feel is
Oh, okay.
if if it wavers, of my number one, then I go back and watch it again to justify that it's still the best.
The thing is, like, I always give like my top 5 favorite movies of all time, and there's always 2 or 3 movies that will never leave that list.
Okay.
And there's always like the 4 and 5 will maybe switch depending on what's going on with me lately, or since I've last revisited. But the ones that always make my top 5 are usually like Braveheart, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and Rocky. Those 3 will always be in my top 5, and probably The Godfather.
Rocky, Boogie Nights, and like Raging Bull are mine. Like, and they're always in that. And Teen Wolf, obviously.
Well, we will get more into this discussion, but we do have to do a bit. I know there are more winners out there than just Kristen and Boss Turner, but someone, not going to point too many fingers, hasn't sent in the winners list.
He was white water rafting this week, Dylan.
So we will give you another shout out next week. Sorry, guys, but thank you so much for interacting with us and giving JT answers, which is why he wins.
Yes.
I gave my answers before we called.
Let's get into what this weekend did. The top 5 ended with Secret in Their Eyes, bringing in $6.6 million at over 2,000 theaters.
That's what I predicted. I predicted right around 6.
I think that it's not good. It's not great. It's pretty bad.
You saw it?
No.
Oh, okay. It's a remake of a
you mean
great
money-wise?
film.
Money-wise.
Yeah, they wanted 10,
Of course. When they were making this and they pulled Julia Roberts on board and they were pulling, I always forget how to say his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
No. Ejiofor? I forgot how to pronounce it. But when you pull these actors who have such a caliber and are well known on board, you are expecting more than definitely more than $6 million. But you look at this past month, you look at the whole year, even when we started with, from the get-go in January, where you had what was that movie? Black Hat something.
That came out this year? Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
we've just constantly seen a couple of these bombs. This one, though, did make the top 5, and then it gave up the 4th spot to The Night Before, bringing in only $10 million.
This is a big disappointment.
Yeah, projections.
For you, yes.
Yeah, for me.
Projections in general were supposed to be closer to 17
I
for
had
this.
20. I thought it was going to do 20. I think this movie was the funniest movie I saw this whole year.
Wow.
If it's rated R, I guess. I don't know. Hunger Games, maybe that's the audience there. Girls wanted to go, and the guys were like, I want to go see The Night Before. They're like, no, we got to see Hunger Games.
You could also put off watching The Night Before till closer to the Christmas season.
I think it'll stick. I think this movie will do 60 domestic.
It might have some legs.
I saw it too. I saw it this weekend.
What'd you think of the texting, the shots? It's really funny.
What did I think of those? What do you mean?
What'd you think of it? What'd you think of
the picture?
The picture? Yeah. Nice.
I don't know what exactly you're talking
What did you
about.
think about the?
Yeah, we're gonna move on. This is supposed to be. We're supposed to talk about movies, not specific pictures. I send
a pic once a month to everybody in my contacts.
Everyone watch the movie. You won't know what he's talking about.
What is this?
But the movie gets better as you watch it.
Yeah,
I would say the first quarter, if not the first third, you're kind of like, oh, these people are pushing a little too hard to make this funny.
It's really
and
goofy.
then it kind of fits into it gets comfortable.
Yeah, the tone shifts a little bit. I'm like, all right,
but
is this
it gets
supposed
better.
To be
At least it gets better, not worse.
That's true.
Because by the end, you are laughing. The laughs do come. It's better than at least starting really strong and then being like, oh, why am I still sitting here?
Somebody sunned it though. Michael Shannon, holy Jesus!
Yeah, Michael Shannon's the best thing in the whole movie.
Awesome.
He is the best.
He's so good.
I was expecting like a Danny McBride or like a Cat Williams or something. Yeah. Then I seen him and I was like, can he knock this out? First word out of his mouth, I was like, done, he got it. He nailed it.
So The Night Before did come out in 4th this week. The 3rd with Peanuts, the movie bringing in another 12 million, almost 13 million. And Spectre taking number 2, dropping 57%. Down to $14.6 million. And of course, the number 1 spot going to The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, bringing in $101 million.
4,000 theaters plus. That's a lot.
Wow, and that's less than people were expecting. I think we all had it around 120, right?
Yes. Well, the last one made over 125 opening weekend. This, I believe, is one of the lowest openings they've ever had in their franchise.
I think it is the lowest.
I believe it actually is too. We will get actuals tomorrow, but they're not going to change that much.
Stick at, but still.
No, and the franchise itself has just made so much money. You're talking about part 1 and part 2, the budget combined was around 285, 300 million.
They're fine then.
Oh, they're more than fine. They've been doing great.
It's going to do $1 billion in China alone, probably.
But that's the difference. I believe it's opened in China already, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is a lot different because the last Mockingjay Part 1, which still opened higher than this, it didn't open in China. It didn't open in China for weeks. They already have China on board for this run, but that's not affecting domestic numbers. But that's no surprise with the number 1 spot.
You saw this or no?
Not yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
You saw this?
No.
Of course not.
Yeah, of course not.
I did see it. For me, this Hunger Games series peaked at part 2.
Catching Fire.
Yeah, and I also I totally understand on the financial. It was so smart for them to break this movie up into 2 because they're going to make buttloads of money. But watching part 1 and 2 now, I feel like that could have been one film.
Oh, 100%.
I think it would have been a much better film overall because I think neither of these separately really feel satisfying.
It's a cash
Do
grab.
the tones of them, like, are they really, is there a really big difference? Like,
no, the tones for 3 and 4 actually are much different than 1 and 2, I feel like. I mean, the tones there,
no, but maybe that's why they separated them. I'm asking if you're looking at
for one reason, money.
money.
I know, but I'm hoping that at least if you're going to separate it, it's because you're going to give me something different, and it's not that I should just take an intermission and it should be one movie.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. It suffers the Rocky 5 problem.
Rocky comparison number 1.
Hunger Games. I go to Rocky. I know there's going to be a lot of build up, and then there's going to be a great fight at the end. When I saw Hunger Games, I was like, all right, good build up. Then you had the games. Part 2 up the ante. It was like Rocky 4. Everything's there. They're hyping it up more. There's more like, social media. There's like fire dresses, and then the Hunger Games were freaking awesome. And then you get 3 and 4, which is Mockingjay 1 and 2, and there's no Hunger Games.
Yeah, 2 is good.
And it's like Rocky 5. There's no boxing match.
Yeah, no.
You're just like
they fight in the street.
I need Hunger Games.
You're at about, I'm going to give that roughly 4 comparisons.
That was a good
so
one, though,
far.
right?
Yes, I like that one.
Okay.
Well, yeah, hey.
I'm just saying, when I go see Hunger
It'll
Games,
be allowed. You'll allow the Rocky references if it applies to what we're talking about.
That's true. You know what? We're mentioning here Spotlight.
Oh,
up 166%. I mean, it's in top 8. I mean, I like the way they're doing this. Put it in a couple of theaters. More. I think this movie can stick around. I think it's gonna be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, it's definitely got some nomination buzz. Also, we're gonna expand the talk to what's going on with the rest of the charts. Number 33 or the 33 dropped 61%.
It's
down
not good for the company.
to 2.2
Not good for the
million. That's not great. But on the other hand, Carol was only in 4 theaters. Was getting an average of $62,000 per theater.
Yeah, I hear it's really
that
good.
is having a huge Oscar buzz. I know one. Congratulations. Yeah. I know that one article came out that was saying that this could be a really competitive year for Best Actress nominations.
Okay.
We normally get that for Best Actor. That's normally where it's competitive. But they're saying
Tessa
that
Thompson from Creed.
Brie Larson.
She'll get one.
Brie Larson from Room will get nominated. That movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
We will see, but that's what the buzz is. So Carol is catching ears. We'll see, though, because even though that's a really strong opening. Oh, we have a puppy. There's a puppy inboard.
Hey,
and
quit it.
It's all right, guys. We're safe and sound. The puppy we have been brought.
It's a Chihuahua.
We are here. We are able to talk to you guys because we have absolutely for free because we have wonderful sponsors. One of which is Casper, who we've talked about before.
Ghost.
Oh, the best.
No.
Oh, the
mattresses.
Yeah, I have one in my house.
Yeah, you're gonna
You got
sleep
one
like
now?
a ghost.
Yeah, it's great. It's
all right.
Women like it. Everybody likes it.
We'll remind you, Casper is a fantastic company because they cut out the middleman. So they allow for you to have quality mattresses without the high costs. So their mattresses are made of a latex foam and memory foam conjunction. And instead of paying like $1,500 for a mattress, you can get a twin for about $500, up to a king size mattress for about $950.
What about a California king? That's all I sleep on.
We'll send in notes. We'll find out. We'll contact them and see. But you go to www.casper.com, so you can get a great deal. And on top of that, if you type in the promo code BOX or you do /BOX, that's for us, Box Office Breakdown, you get $50 off. So that's a special offer just for you guys. And the best part about Casper is not only are it's a quality mattress that's less expensive, but you get to test it out. You get to test out their mattresses for 100 days.
I did it.
100 days. And that's easy delivery, free returns. This isn't you go into a store, try out a mattress for 10 minutes and hope that you like it for the next 10 years.
They delivered mine. And 2 chicks came in bikinis and delivered it.
That was probably special because you're on the show.
Yeah.
Don't expect that from them. I can't make any promises.
Yeah.
But Casper really is out there for the customer. They want you to have a nice sleep. So try out their mattress, fall in love with it. Again, that's www.casper.com/VOX for us here. Get yourself that $50 discount.
Talking coma level sleep.
Yeah, it's coma stuff.
But you
good
will wake up.
You will wake up.
You will wake up.
But, like,
Unless you got a shoddy nurse or something.
So maybe we'll get bikinis. We'll see. So back to the numbers.
International.
Yes, let's go around the world a little bit. The Hunger Games got a grand global send-off this weekend as the final film in the mega-grossing series racked up $247 million
That's a lot of money.
worldwide. Mockingjay Part 2 bowed in 87 international markets and in 32,500 screens, making making it the widest day and date release of the year. And the most ambitious in the history of Lionsgate, which is the studio behind the series.
Get that money.
Roughly 146 million of its total came from foreign territories.
That's China.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually China only brought in about. It's not on here, but I wanted to say it wasn't as high.
Because they're all still seeing the Journey for Anthony.
Exactly, of course.
The Journey Through Time for Anthony. They're like, what do I want to see here? Journey Through Time for Anthony or Hunger Games?
Did you watch the trailer for that?
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
7 minutes long.
What?
You almost watch the whole movie. It's the best. He goes, there's whales surfacing. He's like eating food. He's doing nothing. He's hanging out. It's
quite the journey.
Best. Yeah, it's the best.
Well, Spectre added another 65.7 million to its haul. And that's in 92 markets now. So global total for that going to $681.4 million. So that's second place though on the foreign charts. The latest James Bond adventure did fall steeply in its second week of release in China, free-falling 77% to 12.8.
Journey.
It's not that good of a movie. That's why. I mean, Skyfall was fantastic.
The amount of people I'm now hearing being like, oh, we're giving up Daniel Craig and going over to Mission Impossible. It's like that reference is everywhere.
I mean, and a lot of people were saying like the plots were very similar between Spectre and Mission Impossible, these last two films. I mean, Mission Impossible just killed it this year. And Spectre was just such a disappointment. And I think Skyfall, the reason why it became $1 billion movies, because it was fantastic. And I just don't think this one's. It still might get close to $1 billion, but the way it's dropping off here is not.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
It'll be tough.
That is not dropping. That is plummeting.
That's plummeting.
That's plummeting.
It might end up with 8 something.
All right, in third place, Taiwanese romance Our Times snagged $12 million.
Jesus.
Yes, well, in fourth place, South Korean thriller Inside Men nabbed $10.2 million.
What do you think Inside Men's about?
I don't want to know. I don't really want to know about that.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah.
The top 5 was rounded out by The Transporter Refueled.
Oh, God.
Who knew that was still on the market?
Yeah, what a
which added
horrible
$9.8 million to its $58 million global gross.
Where the hell would make that money?
I don't know. It was horrible. I saw it.
This was months ago.
I got the movie.
Feels like months ago at least.
Yeah.
I got the movie pass and I was like trying it out, so I went and saw it. And it was literally like the whole time in the theater, I'm thinking, should I leave? No, I'll stay. Maybe next scene will be better.
Girls like it because this guy's in it.
If the seats weren't so comfortable, I probably would have left. Because I saw it one of those nice
it's a terrible film.
I mean, but we're getting better ones now. I mean, Hunger Games is not a great movie, but audience is saying like 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. Carol right now has 94 for critics percent.
Wow.
But it only has 80 for audience.
Creed should be 100.
Creed, I don't think is up yet.
It's going to be 100.
So we will have to see. Is that your recommendation? 100% for Creed?
Are you talking on Rotten?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's at 88%.
88.
Is that just critics? Is the audience?
That's
up?
just critics.
Yeah.
That's
Rocky 1's like 97% or something like that. Like, it's just phenomenal.
There's like 3 critics who didn't.
Where does
like
this?
They're dead
Okay,
now.
you both have seen
Stallone
Creed.
killed the people who
Now,
didn't like
where
it.
does Creed fall?
I want to wait
amongst
till
the
we get
list?
to the preview section, and then
Yeah.
we will give our review for the movie.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to go in depth.
Yeah, and
In
but
depth. So do I need to leave you like
No.
a 10-minute
You can go
section?
pet the dog over there for a little bit.
I will say there's
We'll keep the camera on you, though.
there's about 3 people, I think, in Rotten Tomatoes that didn't give it positive, but they're not like negative reviews. They're just
Yeah.
like yada yada yada. I think they're
Okay.
commies.
Yeah, they're
gotta be.
What'd you just say?
They're commies.
could
they're,
be
on the,
communist.
they're on the red list.
You
black
need to
list.
go watch Trumbo and re-get
Yep.
your definitions straight.
Maybe he's just well read.
All right, let's get into a little bit about your guys' favorite person because, it's the inspiration for so much. We have a song that normally introduces this section for
International
the
Dating Game.
International Titles Game.
Break out the Rosetta Stone, because it's time for the International Title Game.
He's coaching, and there's a baby. Is there a baby? What was the baby?
Let me know what happened here.
Yeah,
The
what are you
second
doing?
sound is in fact Drago.
Yes.
Drago from Rocky 4.
Yes, that's another
I was
Rocky reference.
Stallone holding Apollo Creed's dead body
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
in the ring.
okay.
Just like, I'm coming for you, Drago.
Yeah, he looks up,
Okay.
and there's sweat beating off of Drago.
All right, fine.
He's wearing a Boss shirt.
Sure, his boss.
Yeah, it's from Boss Turner.
Yeah, of course.
His apparel.
So I've heard you have something special for us today.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's obviously Sly Stallone for a movie title. There's 8 of them, actually.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and they're, because why not?
So does that mean I get to pick 2?
Yeah, you could pick 2.
Okay, and how
everybody
many
can
are
pick 2.
false?
There's 1 false.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
This is not his best movie, but it wasn't bad.
There are a lot of not his best movies in
Stop.
his repertoire.
Or My Mom Will Shoot. Mm-hmm. It's called Mother Granville. Okay. The Specialist.
Best.
Stallone, Sharon Stone, Antonio Banderas. No, that was Assassins.
No, that's us.
Yeah,
You're thinking of
yeah,
Eric Roberts.
right. Devil Expert.
Ooh, no, that's a Schwarzenegger line, though. Okay.
You'd be surprised. Rambo 3. The First Drop of Blood.
That makes no sense.
Bullet to the Head.
Yes.
Number 1 Destination.
That's one title.
Yep.
Number 1 destination.
Get Carter.
Yep.
Great Sylvester Stallone. Open to Kill.
I want that one to be true.
Escape Plan. Devil in Steel Grave.
That one I believe is.
I do too.
Arnold's in that one.
Rocky Balboa. Rocky Amistad. Okay.
What?
Yeah. Over the Top. Beyond Britain.
What? Beyond Britain?
Yeah.
What was the first double one?
Devil Export.
Devil Expert.
I'm going to say that one
right.
is
That's
wrong.
what I wrote.
Okay. Yeah, really?
What's the first one?
Is Mother Granville.
Can you repeat
Yes.
just the title parts?
Mother Granville.
Okay.
Devil Expert.
Okay.
The First Drop of Blood. Number 1 Destination. Great Sylvester Stallone Open to Kill. Devil in a Steel Grave. Rocky Amistad. And Beyond Britain.
I'm going to say, I get 2 guesses, right? So I'm
Yeah,
going to say
yeah.
the first devil one, the devil specialist.
Okay.
Then I'll go,
Devil Expert.
I guess I'll go, what's the one before Over the Top?
It is Rocky Amistad.
Yeah, let's go that one. I can't believe that one.
I was gonna pick that one.
Go ahead. I mean,
If you're gonna pick that one, I'm gonna pick Great Sylvester Stallone, whatever, and Mother Granville.
Okay.
for stop and watch. Okay.
Okay.
Let the engineer. You want a shot, engineer?
Is
Sure,
this-
sure. I'll do the first one and the third one.
Okay, so Mother Granville.
And the first drop of blood.
Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't
Oh,
make
wait,
sense.
wait.
One of
Is
you.
that the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that I was thinking of the one where. Oh, shoot. What was the second one?
Devil Expert.
Mother Granville, Devil
Yeah, okay.
Expert, The First Drop of Blood, Number 1 Destination, Great, so blah 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 blah, Devil in Steel Grave, Rocky Amistad, or Beyond Britain.
I don't know what they got.
You know what? I'll do Rocky Amistad.
Okay.
The first one.
Well, you guys should have stuck with the first one that you had, Jonathan.
What was it?
The first drop of blood.
First drop of blood.
Damn it. It doesn't make sense, but I thought it was like...
It's not that. Rocky Amistad's real. I don't know what that means.
I know
he wasn't on a ship in the slave times. So I don't know what he was up to. But I guess they must have been like, you know what?
So nobody won?
Nobody won.
So he won.
Yes,
no, Stallone won.
Stallone won, obviously.
Stallone won.
That's correct.
Oh, goodness.
Stallone
And he
won.
gets to win
Stallone wins. He
more
always
because he gets a whole nother section devoted to him today.
Yes.
We're doing his top 5 grossing
Boom.
films.
He's a $1 billion moneymaker.
Yes. Yeah, he's over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like
I don't think it's a lot.
he's over a lot.
He's over like...
Rocky's a whole franchise.
Rocky
is over $1
alone
billion.
is worth...
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a high billions.
It
might be
doesn't
like
make
2.
It doesn't make a difference. It's $1 billion.
It might be $2 billion.
You know what's not cool?
There's a lot of movies.
It's cool, $1 million. You know what's really cool? $1 billion. That's what Rocky did.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rocky itself did $400 million in adjusted gross.
Oh, are we talking about fully? Okay, let's talk about these adjusted numbers and putting these in order. Number 5 is going to Demolition Man.
Yes.
Adjusted numbers, $116.9 million. That's the bottom of his list.
I mean, you're already in the 100 mils. We saw Wesley Snipes at the after party
Absolutely.
and at the screening, so that was
Yep.
awesome. I almost want to be like Simon Phoenix.
Yeah, he's.
Or, you know,
Do you
always,
just reference actors by
that's
their
what I do.
by their?
yeah, Wesley was there hanging out. He threw like a couple of kicks at people. It was pretty great.
I was gonna be like, always bet on black.
You know, the crazy part about it was, you know, Wesley was set to do Major League 2, but he couldn't. So, you know, what's his name? Took it, Omar Epps. But when Wesley was in tax trouble, right, he had no money. Guess who bailed him out? Stallone.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
This is also could be renamed instead of the 5 Stallone top grossing movies. This could be named Fun Facts About Stallone that put him in like the highest glory.
But let me just say, Demolition Man's a great action movie from the 90s that still holds up today.
You know what? It is a really good movie.
Yeah. Very
Absolutely.
fun. It's a great action comedy, which Stallone didn't do a lot of.
No.
This was one of the good
Didn't
ones.
Sandra Bullock do Full Frontal movie in that? No? Well, I don't know what movie that was.
I don't know.
I don't think she's ever done.
Moving
She
up
won
to,
Merkin.
he's number 4, Tango and Cash, $126.5 million.
It's a great movie.
Great team up. Kurt Russell, Stallone.
Isn't Terry Hatcher in this?
Terry Hatcher was in this.
smoking hot back then.
Yeah,
Jesus,
so
she was
good.
hot. No, then she got like anorexia or something.
This is
she's
where
not hot.
Stallone was trying to.
She's still very pretty.
She's very pretty.
He was playing against the whole Rambo thing, and he wore like glasses. He was playing the stocks.
Yep.
And there's a role in the very beginning where he shoots a tanker. They're like, "What do you think you are, Rambo?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Rambo's a pussy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh man, when you could like, just that's like Vin Diesel talking about his character in Fast and Furious in
Right.
another movie.
Right.
Like it's just it doesn't happen very
It's
often.
a fantastic
awesome.
name. Barry Sonnenfeld was the film's original director, right?
Oh really?
Yeah, a photography. He was just,
Okay.
Okay.
But he was fired by Stallone, who felt he wasn't lighting him right to his satisfaction.
Well,
He didn't like
Where
it.
do you find these
I'm
things?
just saying.
Like, I don't understand where you find. Do you just like have you just like kept them over the years? Do you have just like a
fountain of,
folder on him?
Just a fountain of useless
Stallone
information.
has a lot of muscle definition. You have to know how to light that.
Yeah, he has he's
You want the shadows
very
All right.
under the
defined in
abs.
his face.
Cliff-
Swayze was supposed to be,
Oh, Russell?
Russell,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad Russell did.
yeah, but Swayze did
Great
Roadhouse
movie.
instead.
Cliffhanger takes the number 3rd spot with 169 adjusted.
Die Hard on a Mountain.
Yep.
That's what it is. Die Hard on a Mountain. And this is actually Stallone where he's not playing somebody who's an expert in guns or weapons.
Yep.
He's kind of
He's
more
a climbing expert.
He's a climbing expert. He's
But
not.
still an expert.
Yes, but he's not like an action hero. He's a guy who's kind of like it's supposed to be Die Hard, but he's not a cop. Whereas
Yeah.
Die Hard was a cop and he knew how to use a gun. This guy's just a climber who's top physical shape as Stallone always is.
He was doing, he's obviously always is, still is.
He's hanging off like mountains like
looked
with one
fantastic
hand.
at the problem was, I think I've said this a while ago about this movie. The models he was dating at the time weren't happy because his hands were getting all calloused up from
really?
climbing the mountain. Yeah, so he's like, we gotta get this movie over with because I gotta pump. So, yeah, that's what he said. But the crazy part about it was, a sneak preview of the movie went out, and the rabbit, like in the beginning, whatever, was killed.
Yeah.
And Stallone noticed the reaction and was like, "This can't happen." They're like, "We don't have any more money." Put up like $100,000 of his own money to reshoot the thing so the rabbit could live. Yeah,
It's when you know you're rich.
it's just when you know you're great.
Yeah.
All right, the number 2, is going to Rambo, specifically Rambo 2 in this case, with $353 million adjusted. Remember that we only pick one movie for a franchise.
This would have been all Rocky and Rambo.
Rambo 2 was just, it was great. But Rambo 1 First Blood is probably in my top 5 as well. That doesn't leave either. It's so good.
First Blood is the better film. Rambo 2 is the action blockbuster. Whereas the first one's more of like a drama, like psychological thriller with some action. Rambo 2 is straight up USA, I'm going to blow you up with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, Cole was pretty cute too.
Yeah, I mean, and it was actually nominated, I believe, for sound design and editing. The editing in this movie is like, I think, one of the first great like edited action movies, maybe besides like Road Warrior and other stuff, but like movies like Commando and all these other films that follow, like this is the one that started it all. The one-man army started with Rambo 2.
I think the Rambo, obviously First Blood itself, Stallone didn't like the cut, and he tried to buy the whole film back, so he couldn't. So
first
he
Rambo.
so he could throw it in garbage. But he was. We were talking about the first Rambo.
I don't know if I trust his, like, besides obviously him getting Rocky made, he has some like very
Rambo
negative opinions about movies before they're released. It seems.
Who, Stallone?
Yes.
Well, he's the best.
I feel like every time he's about to come out with a movie, he like kind of like bashes it a little bit.
It's a reverse psychology. But you know what? Sorry, Jason.
Go ahead.
It's the first. Rambo is the first non-Rocky movie to bomb. Well, not to bomb. That Stallone did. It arguably saved his career.
Oh yeah, because he started doing films like Fist and
they were bad.
Paradise Alley, and I think Nighthawks might have been before that too. But
another part of Rambo, the bridge that he walks over was also used in 1989's Where No Angels.
Amazing movie.
Yeah, another.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. That's amazing news.
It's good stuff.
So yeah, Rambo, and obviously wouldn't know what number one's gonna be.
Number one, if you haven't guessed it, is Rocky, bringing in $459 million adjusted.
That, for you kids out there, that's Dark Knight money.
Yes.
That is Dark Knight, Heath Ledger, Christian Bale kind of money.
It took the world by storm.
Yes, not just America, the world.
It transcended movie making. I say this, it's not the best sports movie of all time, it's the best movie of all time. It's over $1 billion worldwide, the whole series. No sport movie can even come close to that.
No sport movie can even close to just the first Rocky.
This guy has created, not even arguably, the best movie character of all time. There's no question about it. I mean, seven movies. Who else did 7 movies?
I'm not saying that I don't care about how many numbers you have.
You see,
what are the characters carried? This is what I think. It's one of the only characters we've seen from like 30 to this age. Yeah, Harry Potter went from like, he did go for quite a long time. But
that was a long one.
But to go from like 30 to like, he's now 60 something?
69,
He's like 69. Like, to see somebody age in their whole life, it's like Boyhood.
This is a 40-year span of sequels.
I'm not saying it's not a feat, but I do not put it as my number one in all the categories you do.
You should probably. But anyway, what happened is when he was punching the meat, he was punching it so hard that his knuckles flattened out, and they've been flattened out forever. Yeah. They never got back to like where they were, so you won't see this. He's just flat knuckled. Yeah. Probably good for the chicks. But
there's also rumors that the relatives of the cow that were still living felt it.
Yeah, they did.
He hit that hard.
He gave like a bunch of cows mad cow disease.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just by punching it.
I believe you. Do you see how much I believe you?
Yeah, another real.
This is my face of absolute belief.
They were shooting on such a low budget.
Yeah, it was very low budget.
That there's a lot of people in the scenes, whatever. So Paulie was walking down the street drunk, and some homeless guy comes out of nowhere drunk, and he's like, "You're not acting drunk enough." And he like showed Paulie how to walk drunk, and Paulie was like, "I guess I'll." Alverson's like, "Yeah, let's roll with it." Yeah, it's the best.
I'm sure we could come up with Rocky stories for days with the two of you on board, but let's move on to what I think you've been waiting to talk about.
One more thing.
One more.
Just one.
One more.
Okay, one more. So Adrian, whatever who you are today, Talia Shire.
Thanks.
She took this 7,500 like SAG minimum or whatever it is. She admired Stallone and the story he created. This is her quote. "He calls himself an intellectual caveman," she said. "I think he sort of fancies himself as Stanley Kowalski, but oh boy, is he a creative, sympathetic person."
Did you know that his idol, I know something about Sylvester Stallone, his idol is Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes, it is, because he's a painter as well.
And Edgar Allan Poe. He's a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan. Even
Yes.
tried making a film about him in the early 2000s that never quite got off. Mm-hmm. Also, his childhood hero was George Reeves, the guy who played Hercules.
That's
in the
true.
Old school films.
Yes.
There you go.
He was asked to, at one point, I think, I forget what it was, on some kind of cable network, he was asked to, pinpoint all the Rockies from 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Rocky, he said that 5 was a 0. But he said Rocky 1 was a perfect 10. Mm-hmm. And I think I agree with him.
I think we do too.
All right, let's get into upcoming films then. Do you want me to start or end with Creed?
What do you think?
I think we should start with it.
Star
All
Wars.
right.
Let's go right into it.
Yeah.
So Creed is going to be coming out in over 3,000 theaters. I don't know if it has actually a lot of buzz or it's just I've heard the two of you for the past
No,
ever.
The buzz is real.
The buzz is real.
The buzz is real.
It's the
The
real
hype
deal.
is real.
Yes.
It is already getting some Oscar.
First
Stallone's gonna win, or he'll definitely be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, no question about
Yeah,
it.
it's
I mean, this guy just is. This is humanity levels of this movie. They should show this movie to people like over there are bombing shit. So
We're not getting into that in combination with Rocky.
But no, here it is.
So let's talk about the
When
actual.
you watch this movie, and after it's over, it's such a feel-good thing. He has, cornered the market on feel-good movies. We were in the theater. People were laughing, clapping, crying, cheering. They don't do that in any movies. He's not in. He does any movie he is in. This is what happens. you get out of there and you want to run a marathon.
Now, we were at the premiere, so obviously we're with everyone that made the movie was there. People that are in the movie are in the theater. But I've heard stories from other critics who say when you usually go see a critic screening, everyone's very professional, sits down, you don't hear any noise. I've heard from several critics that people were cheering, clapping, things that usually never happen in a critic type screening.
The amount of
were
electricity
going on.
was unbelievable.
And I will say, I think Stallone will get nominated for,
Yeah.
but I can't say he's going to win it yet.
No.
Only because it's so early.
Yes.
Okay, how does the story hold up? How does the rest of the film hold up?
It's very interesting. Now, this is everyone's wondering: is this Rocky 7? It is, and it isn't. It really does a real good job of riding that line of being its own thing.
Okay.
But with the same structure as of a Rocky movie, especially
Right.
the first film.
Absolutely.
So while it rides that line, it literally just times you're thinking, okay, this isn't the part in Rocky where this would happen, and they don't. They'll hint like they're gonna go there, and they don't.
Okay.
And there's certain things where you're like, oh. And here's another thing. I was really curious. Were they going to use the Rocky, straight up Rocky music? Gonna
Okay.
fly now. They don't and I think that was smart because they don't want this to be a Rocky movie. They want it to be a Creed movie. But you do hear chords, the small samples of the original soundtrack. When you hear it, you're like, ooh.
You get so it's pumped up. Everybody there. I played basketball the next day. And
Do
I was
you
like,
think
pumped
that
up.
this movie is only for Rocky fans?
No way.
No, I think Michael B. Jordan gives such a good performance.
Okay.
I think the direction is very good. I think it's a very personal, heartfelt story, just like the original Rocky.
Okay, so is it
It's
like
a father and son thing. It's uncle.
is it like
it's
a
great.
4-quadrant movie?
I think it could be. I think.
I can see it taking the family, little kids. Maybe no, because I mean,
Right.
they might like the boxing. I just
So
don't
family, if you have older than 13-year-olds.
know. Yes.
every Rocky fan is going to see this.
Yeah, and
but
they're
I
gonna
think
like
they
it.
did a delicate balance of bringing the young urban crowd in as well. There's a lot of hip hop music. There's people on motorcycles doing wheelies, all kinds of really cool things. I think Coogler put his spin on it, but I think Stallone definitely had a lot of input as well, directorial wise. He is just in this movie. He is honestly really funny.
Yeah. Also, people asked me can you not see any of the Rocky movies and go in and watch it? And I believe you could.
Yes,
and you
absolutely.
Could
It's a
still,
standalone film.
You could really enjoy the hell out of it and get everything. But there are so many little hints to the other movies that if you are a Rocky fan, you're gonna love it. If you're not, you're still gonna get
Okay.
completely satisfied.
We do have other movies
well,
to
you could
talk about.
definitely tell
Do you have
Coogler.
any type of
I think it's going to
final thought
I
on
think it's
Creed?
fantastic. It's both the schmoes gave it 5 for 5. That's unprecedented. It's the longest Rocky movie in this series at 2 minutes, 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's just the length of things now.
Like I said, you could tell Coogler is a real Rocky fan. Everything was done properly. The fighting is real. Some people in the theater when Michael B. Jordan was getting punched, they're like, "Oh shit!" It looked real. I mean, they might have been using light gloves, but it was big, heavy punching.
He
the
also
story's great. It's a very touching scene.
the camera work is very good at certain points. There's a boxing match which almost goes uncut. like for like 5 minutes, and you're like, wait, is this not cutting right now? Like, this is amazing, because boxing is one of the hardest things to film, because every angle, it's all about the angles. And I will also say that I don't know about Best Picture again either. I think I'm really curious to see. The critics are loving
unfortunately not.
I don't know. Yeah, I think
it's too good of a feel-good movie to be Best Picture.
That's what I'm worried about.
You guys, I'm sure we'll find more time to talk about this. But we need to also talk about Pixar coming out with The Good Dinosaur. Pixar normally takes almost always takes the number one spot at the box office when they come out with a movie. Good Dinosaur has been getting quite a bit of buzz. Yeah. It's coming out in over 3,500 theaters.
It's interesting. It's the first time Pixar has ever put two movies out in 1 year.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, except for John Carter.
That doesn't count.
Well, here, because Pixar fully funded John Carter, but Disney was like, Pixar was like, we don't want to tarnish our reputation here, so Disney took the hit.
Okay.
I mean,
but insider.
I don't think that's really going to. I don't think it's going to affect the numbers. Yeah, I think it's going to.
Well, Jurassic World made a
Inside Out was fantastic. It's Pixar. They don't lose.
Yeah, I feel like anything dinosaurs right now is going to automatically give you a bunch of money.
Yeah.
There's a small kid in the movie, the human, who's like loses his family or he's alone. Much like Adonis's Creed's father has left him before he was born.
Sure.
Okay, another.
And they use cryometrics on that.
The funny thing is, I went to Disney D23 2 years ago, and they did a whole like preview of this movie, and it had a completely different storyline. And apparently they fired the directors not long after that and totally retooled the movie for Good Dinosaur.
Wow.
Crazy.
So it's gone through a lot of development hell.
Also coming out nationwide is Victor Frankenstein. This is with Daniel Radcliffe and
McAvoy, maybe?
McAvoy, yep. James McAvoy. So it looks stupid.
It's
all I'm gonna say.
It's Victor Frankenstein is Frankenstein's gay barber.
It looks like the same.
So
it looks like the exact same color scheme and like filters as Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, it does have that slow motion.
It has
stuff.
like it looks like it's gonna be that feeling. I just don't think it's going to be as people aren't gonna like it as much.
Listen, if you're going up to the theater and you're walking up to that box office
and you're looking at Creed
and you're about to say, "Give me one for Victor," I want you to stop halfway and say, "Give me one for Creed."
They should say, "Give me one for Victory."
Yeah, if you see Victor instead of Creed, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
there's something wrong going on.
Yeah, listen, if you want to see a great movie, go see Creed. you know, people you hate, you'll love again. It's just
I think of the four we're talking about, we have Creed, Good Dinosaur, Victor Frankenstein, and the Danish Girl also coming out. We've got some good options. Danish Girl's only coming out in 4 theaters. Yeah. So it's probably going to do pretty similar to how Carol did. It's gotten a lot of buzz, and we'll see when both of those go wide.
There's also a movie called Fat coming out, just F-A-T.
That's not on my list.
That's about,
It's not on my list to talk about.
So the Danish Girl's with Eddie Redmayne coming off his Oscar win for Theory of Everything.
Coming off like 8 months ago or whatever it was when there was a standing ovation at all the festival runs.
He plays a straight guy, right? In it?
He plays a straight guy who wants a sex change, just like Caitlyn Jenner kind of deal.
Oh, so he's a transgender.
But it happens in the old days, like the first
a period movie.
Ever.
Does he does he tuck or does he get the operation?
I think it's about the operation.
I think it's about one of like the first operations ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or it was at least in a time when it wasn't a surgery that surgeons were familiar or comfortable with.
I watched one of those live the one time on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting stuff. It's not for everybody.
I don't think that it's going to be that detailed in the
What's
movie.
interesting about it is like it's like she's supporting, like his wife is like supporting him throughout it, so it's kind of a love story. Is that
it? So I haven't seen the movie. How the trailer seems to portray it is that she more or less suggests the initial wearing of women's clothing for him, but it's supposed to be a joke or something. I don't know what the reference is. I think they're either going to a party or he's like posing for a portrait or but he puts on women's clothing with her permission. They do it together while he's wearing this clothing. It seems that he has the revelation that this is more him than his actual self.
That's why I never put on women's clothes.
So it's not really a love story.
Everybody wants
no,
that.
I think that there's the love that they did love each other, and I think through it, it's like she has an interesting role in either how it affects her or the sport of their relationship. I haven't seen it yet.
That's interesting because there is actually a really good love story in Creed with Michael B. Jordan and Teresa.
Is that the whole point that you brought that up? Is that the whole reason you asked that question?
We met her at the after party. Super nice girl. Like,
super great girl.
You know, totally talked to us for a while.
She loved the mug.
She loved the mug, and she does a really good job as playing love interest for Michael B. Jordan in this movie.
Right. Well, the backstory about the mug was Christian. Just real quickly, was he brought it to Philadelphia.
You've already told this story.
Yeah, but I know. But that's why when I went to all these guys at the party, they were like, "Oh my god!"
It was like an icebreaker to all of them.
So Kugler's around a bunch of guys. I put the mug right in his face, and he like ran over and hugged me. And then he just let everybody else by the wayside.
All right.
I shook
So
Ryan Coogler's hand.
these are the movies that we are talking about.
Predictions?
We're time to get into predictions. That is true. Who started last week? Let's see.
I did, but I'll start again.
Okay.
First thing, Stallone in all of his movies has 539 kills. That is 25 more than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Thank you.
Okay.
That is true.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
He's only died in 3
I
movies.
learned so much in the past hour.
He's only died in 3 movies. Fist, Death Race, and Capone. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Again.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do here. As much as I want to put Creed number 1, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Just because people are dumb. And there's kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Idiots. Good Dinosaur, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think it beats Hunger Games. I think Dinosaur could do 80.
Mm-hmm.
Hunger Games would probably do like 60, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hunger Games, number 2. Creed, number 3. I think Creed is going to do, and we're only doing 3 days here, not 5, right?
Yeah, just 3 days.
Okay, I think Creed is going to do for the 5 days probably $40 million, and that's a big win. You could probably see it doing 25 to 30 over the 3 days, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is a tough one because this is a tough one because I thought the night before was going to do a hell of a lot more money than this, and I had my list prepared before that. I'm going to have to go Spectre at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Spectre at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you
it?
skipped one.
Yeah.
I feel like you only named 4 movies.
Yeah.
Oh, Good Dinosaur, Hunger Games,
Creed.
Creed,
Spectre.
Spectre. Oh yeah, and
Do you want me to give you your options?
I guess
Victor?
Peanuts.
Peanuts? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
I'll go. Again, I wish Creed was number 1. If there's any justice in this world, it will be.
Yes.
Number 1 is going to be, obviously, I'm with you, Good Dinosaur. Hunger Games is going to drop off because the movie's not as good as the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So number 2 is Hunger Games. Number 3, I will go Creed, of course. I think it's going to closer to 50 to 55 for the 5 day.
Oh, if he does that, you'll hear Stallone yell from his house.
Yeah,
I think you can make $10 million a day. Spectre. So yeah, then I guess I'll have to go Spectre. No, I'm going to go Peanuts.
Okay.
It's only $2 million difference right now. I think
Good
Spectre's.
Dinosaur's going to smack that though. He's going to bury it.
Let him do what he wants
Okay.
to do.
I'm going to go
Okay.
Peanuts then Spectre.
Okay.
And I don't think Victor Frankenstein's going to do garbage.
No, I don't even have it.
I don't think it's going to do anything either, but I don't think it has to do much.
I seen Daniel Radcliffe the other day. He was moving his arm in a 360 motion. He
Good
has like
to-
no elbow or something.
Good Dinosaur, then Hunger Games, then yes, Creed, then I'll give it to Spectre, and I'm going to throw Victor Frankenstein in the mix.
Okay.
It only
Why, you wanna
needs to
see
get
that?
no, it only needs to get like $5 million.
It's not going to get 5.
It could.
It might get more. I don't know. You don't think Spectre's going to make $5 million? Spectre's going to do 10.
I put Spectre over it.
And what did you throw 5?
Victor Frankenstein.
You think Night
I
Before
threw
was gonna be-
Peanuts out.
Okay.
She thinks Peanuts is going to make Peanuts.
Yeah. Okay. No, you might be right, Sarah. You're better than me lately.
All right.
Who knows? Who knows?
So that's it.
But that is the show. I think
hope
we
they
have
liked
time
it.
for one caller.
One
Hopefully
call.
you learned more about Stallone.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like I say, once again, go see Creed.
Thanks for calling Box Office Breakdown. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Chris Osterman.
Chris
Hey,
Osterman.
how
Long
are
time no
you?
talk, brother. How you been?
Go see Creed.
That is the message of the show today. We're not really talking about the box office. We're more of just advertising Creed.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I'm very excited to see it.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you say you had a drawing going or something like that? Or you're doing something?
Yeah, I am. I started one about a month ago, and then I was up one night and I spilled whiskey all over the paper, and I was like, oh,
You know what?
I'm done with this.
That's
And so I just
acceptable.
started another one last night. Hopefully, I can get it up on Twitter soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
awesome.
That'll be great. I hope it makes everybody look good, especially Sarah. Feel free to
I'll do my
throw.
best.
Feel free
I
to
was
throw her
really
a
trying to
bikini.
find a picture of Sarah's lipstick from last week, so I could really accentuate that aspect.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
I don't know what's happening. Hey, Chris, do you have a question for us? Do you want to do a top 5 this week?
Yeah, I was just going to do a top 5. I haven't done one in a little while.
Sweet.
So
Let's
Yeah,
hear
throw it out there.
I'm going to do number 1. The Good Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea what you think it's making?
Oh man, I think it's going to do pretty well just because of all the hype from Inside Out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just are like
True.
really looking for another hit like that. I'm going to say 90 million.
That's a fair guess.
That's a fair guess indeed.
Yeah.
I got like 82.
It'll be somewhere between 70 and 90 probably. Mm-hmm. Like that's where all of their Pixars typically hit.
Yep.
That's true.
Number 2?
Number 2, I'm actually going to go with Creed.
Nice.
I think,
You know
He
what?
has so much more faith than the
hope
two
you're
of you.
right.
What were
I
you
hope you're
doing
right.
as fans? I was expecting that from you.
I probably should have did it.
well, here's the thing. I think that Creed's just getting a lot of hype where I've heard just negative things about Hunger Games. And
True.
I think that's going to affect it.
You might be right. I mean, Creed could do 60. It could knock it off.
True.
The thing is, if Creed does come in second and neither of you put it there, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
If Creed finishes second,
I'll be dancing and celebrating.
I'm gonna wear a white pair of
I'm just
sweatpants.
gonna
I
laugh
never
at you.
want to be more wrong in my life.
Yeah.
See, you have to
Yeah,
put your
yeah.
heart in it. Sometimes you just have to,
Creed
say
finishes
it.
first. I'm gonna come in naked next week.
Creed finishes first. I will not be coming in anymore.
Or just a pair of sweatpants with no fronts.
All right. So you have Creed number 2.
If Creed's number 1, we will do a 3-person play and act out the entire film of Rocky.
No. I already got on board for this. I got on board for the whole
Yeah.
Rocky thing. You two fail. What is your number 3, Chris?
Number 3, Hunger Games.
Okay.
Number 4, Spectre.
Uh-huh.
And number 5 tough. I didn't really put much thought into this before I called it. I really should have.
It's a tough one. The Gay Barber.
You
Victor
have
Frankenstein.
your options are Peanuts,
Victor.
The Night Before, and Victor Frankenstein. Most likely one of those 3. It could be
I'm
something
going to say
different.
The Night Before.
All right.
Okay.
I like that
A little
movie.
bit of holiday jump.
Yeah.
It's gonna stick around The Night Before.
I hope so.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling. We look forward to seeing this picture soon.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Dude.
And we have to start wrapping up.
Yeah, we got 1 minute.
So,
Last thing I want to say is we met the real life Carl Weathers, the Apollo Creed. We took a picture. It's got over almost 1,000 likes on the Schmoville page.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite thing of the whole night. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it was nice to meet Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, but to meet Apollo, who I've been watching since I was a little kid, was an amazing
And he
achievement.
held the mug. He's like, would you make this? I go, no, I bought it. He's
Yeah.
like, you think there's one of me floating around? I go, should be. You know, should be.
Well,
he looks great, by the way.
thank
He's like
you
65.
all
This guy's
for
jacked out of his
watching
mind.
us here at Box Office Breakdown on the Popcorn Talk Network. This week, it should have probably been renamed Go See Creed. We should probably title that on our YouTube as the title of this show. We will be back next week. Even though it's Thanksgiving, we will be here.
I'm going to cook a turkey for everybody.
You've got a lot of plans to do by next week. You got a lot of stuff.
No, I got the sweatpants at home already.
But so thank you as always for chatting with us.
Yeah.
For being supportive.
Creed.
Yeah, being supportive.
If you want their friendship, just say you love Creed.
Look, you guys
Love
are
you
watching the
forever.
best show on YouTube right here.
Vote.
That's obvious.
Unless
Vote
Creed
with
was
your-
a show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Vote with your dollar, people. Go see Creed
yes, absolutely.
All
I bought
right.
Finstock.
at Schmoes JTE.
That's
Sarah
Sarah
underscore
underscore
Stretton.
Right.
There we go.
Underscore.
Dun,
See
dun,
you
dun,
all
dun,
later.
dun, 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 dun.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.